Hola, cage fighting connoisseurs. This is Kid Nate at Bloody Elbow, joined once again by Eugene S. Robinson for the Care Don't Care preview for not one, but two fight cards. Bellator 172 featuring Fedor versus Mitrione, and UFC Fight Night Halifax featuring Derrick Lewis versus Travis.
I'm predicting we're gonna rip right through both these cards like a hot knife through butter.
Well, after that shit show on Saturday night, oh my God, who could care about this scrappy sport? I mean,
yeah. Well, didn't I say it? I said I don't want to piss on your parade. I felt I had a dark moment of the soul, man, because of, Jermaine and her friend of knuckle up status, and Sorrel giving the fight a big up when in actual fact it was a dog of a fight. So, I mean, when the bald one is saying, best part about 208. The plane ride home.
That was brutal, man. That was
tough.
Yeah.
That was tough. And the next one is coming up in not that one we're talking about, but the one that's in Buffalo. Don't think it's going to be any better, any different, man.
I know it's these are proverbial dark days, Eugene.
Yeah, I mean, look, Buffalo is to New York City like Santa Cruz is to San Francisco. A pleasant place.
There's a lot better acid.
No, a pleasant place to be, but still, like, you fundamentally feel like you've gone back in time.
A pleasant place to be. I haven't heard that about Buffalo of the 30-foot snowdrifts very often.
Nah, but you got to go up in the right time of year, spring. You get up to Niagara Falls, beautiful. Outside of the fact that everybody sounds Canadian, it's beautiful, and there's nothing wrong with sounding Canadian. Don't write no letters. I'm just saying, as a New Yorker, if I'm in New York. Oh, look look, we got a Brazilian, a real Brazilian.
Real Brazilian.
This is Lucas Costa. He taps like a typewriter.
I see. All right, so
we have a whole house full of Brazilian cats here today. So
we've complained about the state of the sport, but you haven't given us a disclaimer, Mr. Eugene.
Oh, bedwetters, grumblers, greedy bread gobblers, work-shy individuals, malingerers, idlers. This has less to do with your skills and talents as a bedwetters, less to do with your skills and talents as a fighter, much more to do with your ability, the marketing heft and weight put behind you by the overlords at WME. So,
or in this case, Viacom, Spike TV's Viacom, Spike TV.
Viacom. So you want to get off the don't care list. It's a simple 1-2 step, fight an exciting fight, and you will make it off like Paul Felder or Charles Oliveira, Rodriguez. These were guys who were once don't cares and have become cares. Ally Quinta, Chris Collard Greens. These are all guys who came from the don't care list to the care list. It could be you. Of course, there's a dreaded journey from the care list back to the don't care list.
Yes, yes. That seems where Anderson Silva is heading.
Yeah, well, we have a term for that on Knuckle Up. It's called LITS.
LITS. This is a new term. What's the definition?
Lost in the supermarket.
Lost in the supermarket, based on the Clash of Mick Jones song with the same name.
Yeah, well, you just can't, he's not in the Lost Battalion, but he's not dark-starred, but you just can't figure out how to market the guy. So up and down the aisle he wanders until you figure out, hey, wait a minute, we got a fight coming up in Australia. Let's yank George out of what was that George cat? George Roop?
No, George Soteropoulos.
Soteropoulos, yeah. Yank him out of the mothballs. So, but Anderson Silva, man, he saved himself. I'm sorry. Is this mic? How's that?
It's a little too close to your mouth. Pull it out a little bit.
It's a little sibilant. How's that? Better?
That's much better. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. His self-awareness is pretty high, and it was nice to see, but it was heartbreaking when he just goes, I'm old. It was a real on Golden Pond moment,
It was with inferior lighting, but the judges were there for him, so that's what he helped. But let's
and even though he's complaining kind of vociferously, I'm liking the way Brunson is coming off. I like kind of what he said post facto. Look, I'm not going to talk about it again. Look, don't tell me I should get over it. If somebody breaks into your house and steals your shit or sleeps with your girlfriend, I'm going to tell you to get over it. No, but the reality of it is he fought scared. And he may not have been. He may have been cautious. Thin line between cautious and scared.
Yeah, he wasn't as aggressive as he needed to be. But moving right along, Bellator 172 Saturday night, live from the SAP Center in San Jose, California. Scott Coker returning to familiar and friendly stomping grounds. First up, We're only going to talk about the 5-5 main card, and this will be on
Well,
Spike
I don't
TV.
know if you should. I don't know if you should do that, man. But anyway, go ahead.
What? You second guessing my decisions?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're gonna fly through most of these with don't cares, but Scott Coker has an MO that seems to fucking work, and that MO is how's that with the mic? Is that better?
I think that's actually worse. Was it bothering you before?
Well, I was getting lots of sibilance.
Yeah,
sibilance.
pull it out. Just out a little.
What the hell, I can't. How's that?
I thought your thing was bendable. Like bend it along the mic there.
Oh. Woo!
Magic. Yes.
Magic.
You're welcome.
Scott, yeah, thank you. Yeah, Scott Coker, he's a local guy. He draws locally. And so there are guys on the card who you don't know, but who I know locally. So
I see. Well,
we'll fly through it. I mean, I
have faith in your gift of gab because, we're 6 minutes into the show and we haven't talked about fight one. So,
and we've not mentioned Nazis either. So,
no, well, there you go. Now we have. Now we have. Some of us are in mourning for Michael Flynn, okay? Like, this is kind of the end of the dream. Like, they're not going to be able to put together an authoritarian clampdown here. I think this gang can't even.
Yeah, it's a gang that can't shoot straight. I tell you, the one Trump guy, he fled, and the second one is fleeing right now. They wanted to get out before I started lacing into this administration that's out. It's a drunk guy behind the wheel. Yeah, Nah, this is what happens. I knew it would happen. He says, I'm not a Trump guy.
It's happening already.
He says, yeah, okay, all right, I'm a Hillary girl.
It took 6 years for every Republican I know to be like, I'm not a Bush guy.
Yep.
But Trump's getting there in record time. Anyway.
Yes.
So, Bellator 172, San Jose, California, Saturday night, Spike TV. First up, welterweight, Mauricio Alonso versus Josh Koschek.
Care.
Yes, because of Alonso, of course, right?
Yeah, both.
That's
yeah. Alonso is not only a friend to knuckle up, but a guy who I trained with a bunch, and tough guy, and has a mixed MMA career, black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I met him first initially as a Muay Thai coach, striking coach. So he presents a lot of threats, and one of my favorite memories of him is having him do a drill wherein his opponent punched him in the face for 5 minutes.
Wow, that's quite an instructive drill. Did he learn some valuable bleeding techniques from that?
No, I think the idea was that he was trying to, like Jake LaMotta said, at one point, this guy who I worked with on the fight book.
In porn, would it be called running from the dick? Is that what he was doing?
Yeah, sort of. He said that LaMotta had said, he stand next to me. And he stood next to LaMotta, and he moved back. And LaMotta's peripheral vision was like a fish. It was like freaky. He could see like this far behind him, And he goes, so if I see a punch coming and I just move a little bit, I can take a lot over it. It's not like I'm just sitting there taking shots to the head like De Niro was doing in the movie. He was like, I'm actually, moving. So Mauricio Alonso was doing that. Yeah. So it's going to be a good fight. And Koschek is, I think Koschek knows, the thing is with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys who make the crossover, they don't have the striking piece, but Mauricio Alonso does. But he's also lost some too. So it's not fait accompli that he's going to get onto the big show here and win it. But I'm going to pick him. So.
Yeah, because Koschek, like 5 straight losses to end his UFC run, and the last 4 of those, Lawler, Woodley, Ellenberger, and Eric Silva, all just murked him mercilessly, and he looked terrible. And that his last fight was 2 years ago, March 2015. So yeah, I got to go with Alonso. But maybe Koschek's recovered a little bit of the old Koschek magic. But he was one of those guys who relied on athleticism and his wrestling skill and a big right hand, and was very cocky and physically present in his peak. And then suddenly one day he was old and slow. And
suddenly one day.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Slowly and then all at once, as they say.
Yeah.
Are you going to tie this to...
No, I didn't say it. I didn't say it. I was hinting, but I didn't say it.
I see. You could be like the three witches in Macbeth, just stirring a bubbling bowl of conspiracy out there.
Double, toilet trouble, fire burning, cauldron bubble, round about the cauldron go, in the poison entrails throw. Of course, I would know that whole speech, right?
Of course you would. Conveniently. And like the three witches, you've only got the one eye between, just passing it around.
Oh, what a rogue and peasant slave am I. I whip out Shakespeare anytime at a bar and get you free drinks.
Can you do it as Sammy Davis Jr.?
Hey, oh, what a rogue and peasant slave am I, man.
Wind him up and turn him on. See, I told you we didn't need to talk about the prelims.
Okay. All right. So Alonso, we got it. Next.
Yeah. All right. So next, women's flyweight, Vera, Arteaga, and Brooke, Mayo.
Don't care.
I almost care about Brooke, Mayo, but I don't quite. So,
all right.
But we'll see. But I'm watching that fight, so we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
All right, heavyweight, Ole Thompson versus Cheik Kongo. Cheik Kongo.
Oh, wow.
My man.
I care. Yes. I care because of Cheik,
Yeah.
Man, really? Number 3?
Number 3.
Ouch.
Yep.
Yeah, I care. I'll pick Kongo.
I got to go with Kongo too, because the way Matt Mitrione beat breaks off Ole Thompson last time,
it
doesn't inspire any confidence. Although I'm not a fan of the Cheik Kongo stylings.
Well, the thing is, every time there's a woman I know who is super aggressive about want me to hook up a threesome with Cheik Kongo.
Wow.
I was like, hey, if this is if that's what you want, I'll hook it up.
So you're invited along because of the Cheik Kongo connection?
What's that?
You're invited along because of the assumed Cheik Kongo connection?
Yeah, she was like, you know fighters, right? I go, yeah, I know a few. So, what about, do you think it's like...
Has she seen him fight or just seen the still photos of his physique?
She's seen the still photos.
Yeah, see, maybe if she'd seen them fight, she'd
she'd have a different feeling.
Yeah. Especially the groin strikes, which
yeah.
a staple of his technique. So we're both picking Cheik Kongo.
Yep. All right, correct.
And now one, I know this is very near and dear to your heart. Lightweight, Patricky Freire, a.k.a. Patricky Pitbull, versus Eugene's pal, Josh Thompson.
Yeah, I'm picking Pitbull. Sorry, I can't, man. Josh and I, when he compared homosexuality to bestiality, I was out.
You were out.
I was out. Hey, I'm just trying to spark conversation. I mean, I don't know. Hey, let's step away from the merits of his argument, and then get to the fact that this happened after the long desert that he spent being out of the UFC. And it's like he gets back in the UFC, and like within the first month of being, persona grata, he goes to persona non grata over some stupid fucking bullshit. Come on,
self-inflicted.
Man. Self-inflicted. Fuck.
Out of the blue, apropos of nothing. But he's 2-0 in Bellator, and
Pitbull lost to
Handler last time. Yeah, really.
Ooh,
that's funny about that. Good.
Yeah.
I might make America great again and go with Josh Thompson.
Okay.
That's right.
You gotta do what you gotta do. What you gotta do.
Yeah. We were at the Trump rally together, and I feel like manufacturing jobs and Josh Thompson are coming back.
You do realize that your picks from this last weekend were execrable.
Like the fight card.
Yeah, okay. I like that.
I think it's a mercy to everyone. Just let us never speak of that fight card again.
You can seek cover wherever you find it. But yeah.
Well, I grew up on the savannah, so I'm very adept at hiding amongst thin scrub brushes and
I can
tiny rocks.
Tumbleweed. There's no tumbleweed. That's Kid Nate.
That's right.
All right.
Tumbling on down the road. All right.
That's the first bit of action we have on the card. Okay, so
it is, and I'm really basically just picking it to get your goat, and yet you're unplussed.
No. I mean, I started out initially liking Josh, and I still, I mean, he's been doing this shit a long time. People don't realize
that he has.
I mean, so I've known this cat since he was like 18. So and I remember him. You're a journalist? Oh, you should write about me. He just, I mean, back when he was a punk and not an older man, middle-aged man.
Yeah.
But
he had that weird feud with Frank Shamrock where
Yep.
it was almost like Shamrock was grooming him for molesting or something. I mean, he was just consistently calling him gay. Like,
that's right. Well, and you know, one thing Josh did that I really liked, that he turned it around, and he said at one point he had beat somebody in San Jose, and they were booing him, and he called everybody right out. He goes, "Yeah, I know you guys are booing me," and he got right to the heart of it without getting to the heart of it. But what you don't know is that my mother's maiden name is Sanchez. You know, and then he did like the rest of did I imagine this? But he did the rest of his speech in Spanish, and like for the first time, he's like
pandering.
Yeah, I'm not just fucking your average white boy here. I'm, you know, I'm half Mexican, you know. And after that, golden. He could do no wrong in San Jose when he stepped into the cage, you know.
I see it.
Well, which is what I like is that communities always know. Like African Americans knew from the get-go that like fucking Mariah Carey was black, right? Like white America was like, why is she
still baffled?
Why is she dating all these black guys? And if people were like, yo, she's a member of the tribe, you know. But yeah, it's just funny. People, you know, is a tribalism that somebody said to me once in the comments. He said, "Oh, you only picked him because he's a black fighter." And I said, "Hey, do you think Japanese guys, when they see a Toyota, or Japanese Americans, when they see a Toyota go by, they go, yeah, look at that," you know? And he goes, "Okay, maybe you're right." And I go, "However, it is noted, but it's not gloated. It's not gloated."
I see.
You know?
Noted, but not gloated. Well, you know, us Texans, whenever we see a Toyota Tundra drive by, we say, "Made in Texas."
Yep. Yeah, exactly. You knew that. I didn't. What the hell? I don't know.
Hey, we know, you know.
Yep.
It's Texas.
Anyway.
It's a whole nother country. And now, speaking of a whole nother country, a whole nother last emperor heavyweight, Fedor Emelianenko, make his long-awaited return to American MMA against Matt Mitrione, NFL and UFC veteran.
I'm really tempted to say I don't give a fuck.
Cool, but you'd be fronting, you'd be lying.
Yeah, I would be, but you know, if you mentioned Fedor, and I just get a bad feeling, man. And I don't remember where the article was. I set my Google thing so it gives me alerts and for MMA. And at one point, somebody ran an article where it said why Fedor chose to fight Bellator instead of you. And I don't want to know. You just fuck.
Is it because you've got this image of Fedor as a pure peasant, pure Russian peasant, unsullied by commercial thoughts, praying and...
Biafra had done this spoken word piece from my spoken word compilation, Fear, Power, God. And he had said, he was talking about the Space Shuttle Challenger, and that that he was sort of glad that it had blown up because the plan had been to shoot plutonium into the outer atmosphere. And had plutonium been on the Challenger, you know, there would have been enough plutonium blasted across the fucking American, the global earthly stratosphere to poison, you know, millions and millions of men, women, and children. So that put a kibosh on that. But then his line that struck me is that he goes, and I've used it many a time, much like I'm taking a real good look at you, taking a real good look at your face. His line was, "How reckless can you get? How reckless can you get?" And when I think about Fedor, that's what comes to mind. How you have but one career, sir. You know, how reckless can you get? You know, this you just fucking made you've made a lot of bad decisions.
And been the beneficiary of a couple of bad decisions too. That fight with Fabio Maldonado. When you're watching Fedor get a gift decision against Fabio Maldonado, these are dark days. But he's 5-0 since he left Strikeforce last week.
Well,
you know, he got knocked out by Dan Henderson. But listen, he's reeled off wins over Jeff Monson, Satoshi Ishii, Pedro Hizo, Singh Jadeep, and Fabio Maldonado. So
come on, man.
Mitrione better be
on
his game.
So, okay, all right. Look, we're caring because we talked about this long. Do you have a pick?
Well, why do you make me go first?
Because you were slow.
Because I'm slow.
Hey, you had as much opportunity as I did to say what was the pick, but you did it.
Yeah. Let's see. Mitrione's 2-0 in Bellator with both knockouts. I can't pick Meathead over the Last Emperor. I just can't do it. I mean, Mitrione's got good hands, some power, and a good chin, but he's very limited and very dumb.
You know what, man? You know what I found about living life on this toilet bowl of earth is that when if you
didn't treat her that way, she wouldn't.
Hey, if you're waiting for stuff to be less sad instead of more sad, you're going to be sorely disappointed.
As one gets older, the funerals mount up. That's kind of
I just had an ex die. My second ex in as many years.
Of a broken heart?
Nah, cancer.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's kind of a fucking drag, man. Weird. But
the big C. Yep. So you're picking Mitrione, is that what you're saying?
I got to. I because if I pick Fedor and this is like Pascal's wager. If I pick Fedor and he wins, I'll be really happy. But if I pick Fedor and he loses, I will be colossally unhappy. Like even unhappier than if I pick Mitrione to win and Mitrione loses. You see?
Let's say you'll be soothed because Fedor won.
Yeah, I'm going for minimizing sadness.
Let's see. Via narcissism, because if Mitrione wins, then you can celebrate another Eugene S. Robinson pick.
Well, I'm celebrating no matter what, because this last fight, I only got one wrong, which means I got like 7 right.
I see. Well, I was
compared to almost the exact opposite for you. So
I was making those picks just to give some game, just to put some action on the show.
And a bad dancer blames their shoes.
My shoes were terrible.
Okay, so you're picking Fedor.
Yes.
And I'm picking Mitrione.
Picking Mitrione. And now we move on to Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada. UFC Fight Night 105, featuring Derrick Lewis versus Travis Browne, happening Sunday night on Fox Sports 1. Sunday night.
Monday's a holiday.
President's Day. That's right.
I actually have it off from work. I like my job. It's great. They say, okay, and so Monday's a holiday, and they stop short of saying you actually don't have to come to work. I know what you guys are trying to do. It's like, if you want to come to work, you can, but other people, losers are taking it off. So I think I might actually go into work just to see who shows up. So
I heard there was a spontaneous citizens march on Mount Rushmore to blast all the other 4 faces off and replace it with Trump.
No way.
Yeah, there's just an immense people's march, but the media is not covering it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because they don't want to make America great again.
Yeah.
All right. So, UFC 105 Fight Night starts with one fight on Fight Pass, middleweight. Gerald Michert versus Ryan James.
I don't give a crap.
Yeah, the guy might be Dutch, though. So
whatever. It sounds like it. Or Belgian. You can never tell.
Yeah, if they're in the UFC, you can bet they're Dutch and not Belgian.
Yeah, that's true. The number of Belgian fighters, I think, are probably very small.
Yeah, vanishingly small. So we don't care about that one. Now there's 4 fights on the Fox Sports 1 prelims, starting with middleweight Jack Marshman versus Thiago Santos.
I don't care. Sorry, Thiago.
Yeah, Thiago's bored me. He's one of those guys that I know who he is, and I'm not caring, so that's a bad sign. All right, bantamweight Alamin Zahabi versus Reginaldo Vieira.
I don't care.
I don't either, but I'm kind of intrigued. I like the ethnic mix here between the Zahabi. This is Firas Zahabi's little brother.
Yeah, that's almost worthwhile. But I've been disappointed with outside of the Millers and the Diaz's. I've been disappointed with the brother thing.
Are you thinking of Pettis, little Pettis?
Yeah, yep.
I see. All right. Women's strawweight Carla Esparza versus Honda Marcos.
Yes, I care.
Because?
Honda with the wrestling and Esparza because of the dance.
The dance.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're a dance man.
Yeah. Did she? No, I'm sorry. It's Betch Kahea with the dance. So.
Journalist of the Year, you call yourself.
Yeah, I caught myself before
Oh, you issued a correction, you mean?
Yeah. At the same time.
It's all fake news to me. All fake news to me, Mr. Robinson.
Yeah, no, man. You know what? I wake up. Wake up every day the same 2-step. I stagger awake to the alarm. I go take a crap, and as I take a crap, I pull out my phone and I say, "What has that asshole done now?" And then I go to the news.
I see. Well, it's That's pretty apt. I started my day losing a fight to a 3-year-old over what she's going to wear to school, and I end my days in a brutal throwdown making my 8-year-old brush his teeth. So he finally pulled so much shit the other night. His mom had to get out of bed and threatened computer time. So now he has been there brushing his teeth first time he's asked. Because I caught him running his electric toothbrush, and it sounded too smooth. I opened the door. He's in there reading a comic book with the toothbrush turned on.
Why does he not want to brush his teeth?
That's the question. I don't know.
You know, my kid, she was when she was small, my oldest, I couldn't stop her from sucking a thumb. I said, hey, kids, gonna mess up your teeth. You're gonna have to get braces. Didn't care about that. And so I found some terrible photos online of kids with hand and mouth disease, like, you know, rosacea or some stuff. And I go, you see this kid? You know how they got that? From the germs from the hand on the face, and she saw it, and bing, stopped instantaneously.
And it worked?
Yeah, wow. You got to use it. You got to go type in tooth decay images. And then,
I showed him some video of the shots they give you, you know, the big needle with the anesthetic in it, and he acted as if I was child abusing him. And yes, you're scaring me. Yes, I am scaring you. That is the point of this lesson. You know, that was threats that finally threats.
The joy of having a son. I don't have any, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's a whole different game. We take jiu-jitsu together, and he watches me train, and somehow it came. He started just spouting off about how I sucked at everything, and I was like, even the calisthenics. He was like, especially the calisthenics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My kids like to make mock, especially my middle kid now, who's going to the state wrestling championship on the 24th. So I'm excited about that. But like, oh, I could beat you, Dad, and you know that's not gonna happen. But she refuses to tap to me. Like, she's like, I'm squeezing it, and I can tell like I'm actually hurting her, and she's like, I'm not gonna tap. I go, okay, kid, I love you. I'm not gonna.
She just knows, because she knows you're not gonna snap her shoulder with that Kimura.
Yeah, it's like, I'm just gonna, you know, you're being ridiculous. Just tap now, okay? I got to reward hard-headedness, you know.
Yeah, of course you do. Of course you do. That's how the Robinson family line continues.
Hashtag the Robinson way.
Robinson way. All right, now we've got the main card. Oh wait, no. We've got one more fight before the main card. How could I forget?
What? Did we make a pick here?
Oh, no, we didn't. We just got off completely lost because you had Bechkahea and Carlos Barza confused. So I got to go with Honda. I'm jumping in.
We said the same thing. Jinx. We said the same thing at the same time. Okay, so both of us have Honda.
Yep. I said it first. You did not.
We said the same time.
Okay,
yes. So
you said Jinx shortly after I said Honda. You didn't actually say anything else.
Yeah, okay.
All right. So now we've got welterweight Nordine Taleb versus Santiago Ponzinibbio, man whose name I've learned to spell.
Yeah, no, fuck that.
I care about this guy. Ponzinibbio.
Yeah, he suckered me in before. No.
He's fun, man. I mean, he's a good scrapper. The last fight wasn't so fun, but you know,
my memory goes back only that far.
Let's see, but the two fights before that were pretty exciting knockouts. They had a fight of the night against Lorenz Larkin before that. So, you know, if you can get a good fight out of Lorenz Larkin, dude,
I guess you're right. Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah, I mean,
that's a good way of looking at it.
A lot of the MMA journalists are just excited about fights because there's a man in a skirt, but then, you know, with Ponzinibbio, he actually delivered a good fight, so it was confusing and yet exciting for a lot of you know, a lot of the crowd that's going to be at the fighters only party.
So you're gonna which won't be me or you. So
no. Although Bloody Elbow is nominated, so I'm sending Kareem Sedan to represent. And
nice. Yeah, you're sending him.
Well, he's nominated. Yeah, we're sending him. Him.
Oh yes, because he's nominated as well.
Yes,
and
he's nominated as well.
That makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you know, So
So you're gonna pick Ponzinibbio.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay, so I got nothing. I'm blanking on that one.
You're blanking on that one, huh? Man, that's in your younger days, you wouldn't be so cautious.
But I've looked at life from both sides. Boy.
Oh my God. Yeah. Judy Collins has got.
Yeah, I was gonna say Judy Collins and Joni Mitchell. I always get it confused. So.
Well, Joni wrote it, and Judy did the hit version.
That's right.
So.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So now we're on the 6-fight main card. Fox Sports 1, Sunday night, UFC Halifax lightweight, Alessandro Ricci versus the man himself, Paul Felder.
Oh, Paul Felder, who's been on TV recently, even though he was some talk from his corner about him quitting, which I didn't know if I really want to believe that. But yeah, I care. I care about Paul Felder. He was a don't care who became a care, even with the talk of retiring. The fact that he's appearing on TV, that WME magic might mean something. So he's had a raw deal, in my estimation. I think last time I saw him fight, or the time before that. But I'll pick Felder. I feel all right with that.
Yes, I care. Although Felder, he's pushing it. If he wasn't the guy that you used, because you're the only one, he's the only one you can think of that's gone from don't care to care.
No, I mentioned 3 or 4.
I know, but you always mention Felder.
Yeah. So you think he's going to slide back? No.
He's been backsliding, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
he got raw deals. He got raw deals.
Yeah, he got a raw deal.
Yeah,
he got a raw deal.
His kind always does. But no, I'm picking Felder.
Mike Flynn both got raw deals. I'll pick Felder, but he's on watch. He's on watch.
Okay. All right. I like that. I'm sure he likes it too. Your marked lack of enthusiasm.
Yeah. Well, a lot of I tell the fighters not to watch this show because sometimes they spiral down into just hopelessness.
They get it.
Yeah. All right. Women's bantamweight, Sarah McMahon, Gina Mazzani versus Gina Mazzani.
No. Sarah McMahon. No. Girl,
girl
I can't trust. No.
So you don't care?
Yeah, I don't care. I fell down that flight of stairs one time too many. No.
I don't know, man. I think she's actually kind of redeeming herself to me. She won her last fight with submission, which shows she's learning some stuff. Arm triangle choke. So I care. I'm loud and proud.
Right,
USA.
So you're picking?
I'm picking McMahon. I don't know anything about Mazzani. Yep. So I gotta go with that. All right, now we've got middleweight Elias Teodoro versus Cesar Freire. I believe Mutanche is how he's known.
Almost, but not quite. Sorry. Nope.
Let's see.
Nope. You're a lot more generous so far. I'm looking at my little.
I'm a generous man, Eugene.
It's clearly true. So
yeah, I'm also whacked on pain pills because some goon knocked me down. I took my wife roller skating for Valentine's last night.
Fuck.
And you know how the law of roller skating is: if you're one of those fast idiots that can actually skate, you don't run down the intermediates, not the beginners, the intermediates who are just trying to hold hands and go around in a circle.
What? No, it's not the law of roller skating. It's a law of Valentine's Day.
That too.
You know how many guys I know who have actually been killed doing shit that they didn't want to do just to make their partner happy?
I like roller skating.
Yeah, me too. Not enough to get hurt doing it. I like horseback riding. Dude went out horseback riding. Horses got spooked by some kids on dirt bikes, ran him into a tree. He is dead. He was scheduled to get married. This was a pre-wedding kind of thing. They were going to
shoot the horse?
No, it wasn't. They were just renting horses, man.
Well, I still think family honor demands that the horse be shot.
It wasn't the horse's fault,
Hey, it's always somebody's got to pay.
I would say the kid on a dirt bike, but whatever,
I see. Well, I stay far away from the horses. My brother made me learn how to ride horses when I was a kid, and he put me on this fucking nag named Cooper, who for some reason
nag named Hurricane.
No, Cooper. And for some reason, the same horse that was the only one they would trust newbies with was also the shittiest asshole horse who would get away and run through the creosote bushes and shit, just pure assholism.
Yep.
And I stay. Horses are dangerous and scary. That's entirely different proposition than an innocent bout of roller skating.
So what pain pills are you taking? I need some pain pills.
I just taken some old Tylenol 3s left over from the last time my wife had a baby. It's part codeine.
Oh yeah, I need some of those.
Yeah. But you got to eat them on a full stomach. Don't do it on an empty stomach.
No, I've been down that road.
Yeah. So, yes, Elias Teodoro and Mutanch. You don't care?
I don't care. Sorry. Almost because of Elias, but I can't. You know what? Hey, man, if we were given dollar value assessed for this fight, how much money would you give? Not more than 5.
No, not more than 5. And looking back at our botched abortion of trying to price out 208, from now on, we price these things starting at 0 and pay what the fuck we feel like.
Yeah, there you go. I like that. I like that.
Because that fight card was in no way, shape, or form worth $65. I am not. I have, other than losing a bad decision at Thiago Santos. Oh yeah, that fight with Sam Alvey was terrible too.
Yep.
I think Mutanch can force the action.
Okay.
He might not win, but I'm picking him, and I think he can get some action out of this. All right, so now we've got featherweight Sam Cecilia and Gavin Tucker.
Fuck. I don't really kind of give a shit, man.
Yeah.
I stopped caring about Cecilia many fights ago. He has been a multiple winner of don't cares in my mind.
Yes. I mean, this is a guy that's.
He's like one of those guys you look up and go, "What are you doing here?" My kid went to this like hoity-toity kind of school for gifted kids, and one day I got called in, with my middle kid. What's the problem? What's the problem? SEL is a big portion of what they social emotional learning, and this girl was getting on Ruby's nerves, and Ruby looked at her and goes, "I don't even know what you're doing here." No. And what was sad is that the kid, she was Ruby's crucial truth teller. She was actually right. The parents had like fucking oodles of money, but the kid was not gifted, man. And they rousted her out the next year. So Ruby was dead on. But they're like, it was kind of unkind, Ruby. So they had this whole, and they brought the parents in, and they expected us to correct her, And I sat there completely silently, and afterward I said, "Ruby, you're dead on,"
You said that in front of the other parents?
No, I took her aside and said, "Kid, you were exactly right, but you understand that people don't like the truth sometimes." So,
yes, this is an important point. This is what you need to tell your children. If you're going to be the truth teller, know there are costs associated.
Yep.
With it. Like, did you see Atlantic Monthly had a new article about what killed rock and roll? They honed it down to the early 90s. And they didn't say it in so many words, but I think the transition from Whipping Boy to Oxbow was to blame.
Get the fuck out of here.
They just implied it.
What are you talking about? What?
No, I'm telling you, that was very clear, the implications. They didn't say it in so many words.
What did they say?
They were saying it. It's true.
Well, I would read the Atlantic Monthly, but the guy who was like my arch nemesis in when we're getting our degrees in journalism, which Stanford doesn't call it journalism, Bob Cohn is the editor-in-chief there, so I can't.
I see. Some old grudges. So we don't care about Sam Cecilia.
No, I don't.
No, I don't either. I actively don't. And I know who he is because we confused him with some other dude one time, and ever since then.
Sam Stout, as we confused it with.
It wasn't Sam Stout. Hands of Stone. Now we come to now we're getting to something interesting. Middleweight Hector Lombard versus Johnny Hendricks.
Oh yeah. I care, and I'm picking fucking Lombard hands down.
Oh, all day, every day against the ghost of Johnny Hendricks. I mean,
I expect to see him come into the ring like the ghost of Marley with chains. Ooh, Johnny Hendricks. Ooh.
Yep. He doesn't even have his restaurant open anymore. And Lombard, man. Do you think Lombard will be diminished though?
Well, that's not actually the question. The question is, will he piss clean? But whatever.
You don't think he's going to learn his lesson, huh?
Like I said before, and I'll say it again about performance-enhancing drugs, that the issue, underreported issue, is right here in the head. See, I'm pointing to the head for those who are just listening. You're supposed to stop, but supposing to stop and stopping are very different things.
Yes. Lombard, man. I don't know. This is like two ghosts here because Lombard's 39 years old. He got knocked out by Neil Magny.
Hey, easy.
What?
Ageism.
I see. And it's not a Jack Benny 39 either, like yours.
I rolled today with a 14-year-old.
A 14-year-old. I think that's illegal in most states, Eugene.
Yeah, from Brazil. And Sorrell is putting together these grudge matches with me and black belts. And I told you, with real money against it. So the black belt keeps sending spies up here. This is like the 4th or 5th Brazilian cat who's come, and they're like all right away off the stick rolling with me, And he goes, they go back to Brazil and they tell Walter, about your skills or lack thereof. And the amount of money now is up to $300. And the bet is that not only can they not sweep me, but they can't submit me.
Wow.
So I had to roll with this guy in an interesting way, giving away very little, but giving away enough so that he carries, word back to the guy.
Fear of old man jiu-jitsu?
No, I don't want to strike fear that I'm a nice guy, that I'm a nice, but
You're sandbagging it is what you're doing.
I'm trying, but
Isn't this whole thing Sorrell sandbagging by keeping your rank artificially low? I mean, how long have you been doing this and you're a purple belt?
Yeah. Well, we talked about a guy who just got his blue belt 2 days ago, and they're like, man, you kept him a white belt for 7 years. And he's Sorrell's like, I don't care. The guy doesn't come. Is he coming once a week? Is he coming twice a week? I have my system. So with me, it's hard because I'm coming every day. So the fact that I've been a purple belt for 3 years? Well, how do you is that sandbagging or what?
There's some madness to the method here.
Yeah, I mean, he's looking. He's paying attention. Like, you got to have the fundamentals down. If you're doing a shit armbar, I'm not going to give a brown belt to a guy who's doing a shit armbar. It's got to look nice. So
I see. So he wants your work to be neat. He's grading you on neatness as well.
Yeah. And I'm and all of a sudden I realize, the past 5 guys I've tapped with the same fucking thing. Got to get out of that.
Got to mix it up, Eugene.
So now I'm pushing triangles, and they look like shit because I have been doing this other thing. I'm not going to tell you what my go-to submission is, but So
I see. And now, speaking of sandbagging, Mr. Honda Rousey, Travis Browne against Derrick Lewis, heavyweight headliner.
We care. And I'm gonna have to pick. I'm just not the Jackson Wink thing. I'm sorry. I'm gonna pick the Beast because I would say if Travis was
Black Beast.
Yeah,
see, that's it.
If Travis Browne was gonna push him into places where he can't comfortably win, like grappling exchanges, I would. But I just don't see Travis Browne doing that, man. I just don't see it. I see him keeping it standing up, and you're gonna fucking lose. Can hit that guy really hard and nothing happens, and he hits you really hard and you're gonna go down, And if you go down, that's a lot of Negro on top of you, So you gotta, it's just I mean, what way to victory do you see? I mean, he's got those long. He's kind of
he's got the reach on him.
Travis Browne's got the reach and he's kind of rangy, but that's I don't know, man. What are you thinking?
I see a flurry of celebrity status coming out there and sort of dazzling Derrick Lewis. And then I hear some just brilliantly incisive coaching advice coming from the corner, and
breathe deeply. Clinch.
No. Like that's, that's
I actually love those corner cams. This fight this past weekend, he showed a corner cam, and the corner was actually like this, and they were looking at the jumbotron. They're sitting like right on the apron. They're looking at the jumbotron, not saying a fucking thing. I'm like, man, those guys need to be fired.
Hey, sometimes when you're seeing perfection at work, you just
that's what they're saying to keep. That's what they're saying to keep their jobs. I got it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna make it interesting. I believe in Travis Browne. You know why?
I believe in children of the future too, but I'm not betting on them.
Have you ever seen Derrick Lewis in TMZ? I mean, even one time. How many WME executives do you think know who Derrick Lewis is?
So you're picking Travis Browne. So tell me before I write it down.
All day.
Okay, all right, good. We got some action. All right.
Yeah, he's making a comeback, baby. It's turning things around. You know what?
I tell you honestly, in terms of Q ratings and public opinion, when you mentioned Travis Browne, my prevailing feeling, I feel sorry for the guy. I feel
Because
a certain amount of pity. I just do, man. I mean, I could give you a breakdown of why I feel the pity for
he's the
him.
Yoko Ono of MMA. Is that
Yeah,
why?
yeah. It just, man, you know
So you feel
what?
sorry for Yoko Ono, even after she got John Lennon addicted to heroin?
Well, I like Yoko Ono, you know, and
I mean,
her
sure,
stuff with
everybody likes her music, but I'm talking
yeah.
about her person. I actually do like her music, but I like
Yeah, the
horrendous
stuff
noise.
with Fluxus and whatever. But I
What?
yeah, I don't know, man. I think that having a personal life is fucking difficult in the best of circumstances, and you know, I just don't know that he maybe thought this through. You know what? Yeah. He's got kids, and then it's just sloppy divorce, and then the thing. I just feel sorry for the guy, man. He had, you know what? It's a Star is Born, and I think he had something, and I think he could have been something and somebody, and that shit just got derailed by what I see as a semi-complicated relationship choice, and you know, you can't, you know, love picks you. Sometimes you don't pick
Love
it.
is non-consensual, as they say in the Sandusky family. Did you see Sandusky's son got arrested for child molesting?
Yeah,
The
you
one
know,
son who spoke up in his defense.
yeah, the creepy fruit and the creepy tree. I got it, man.
Yeah,
And it was like all the horrible kind of creepy, like asking the daughter of a woman that you're dating. Come on, man.
yeah, that
You know,
was. Yeah,
uh,
yeah. Somewhere in
yeah,
prison, Jerry is like grooming, son. I told you it's all in the grooming. But
yeah.
they
This
don't listen.
fucked up.
It is
And
sick.
and you know, and a lot of times when you follow this stuff, it's like following the money. If you follow this stuff, there's probably, you know, a molester zero in there somewhere.
This
In
shit's communicable, like vampirism.
yeah,
That's,
and so you know, who was it who turned Sandusky, you know, or was he the molester zero, you know?
I assume somebody taught him as
Yeah,
well. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So it's you know,
yeah.
it's terrible, and I'm incapable of being rational about it. You know, I understand.
We've seen. Yes, yes. Your
You know,
rant about the Baylor football game. The other, if I,
I want those guys wood chipped, man. You know,
that's,
I just don't. I
it's
just
the system. It's the system, though, not the individual. Don't blame the rapists. Blame the university.
I mean, you know, I don't know, man. You know, where's Rape Man when you need him? You know.
Exactly.
Oh,
Exactly.
just to be clear, folks, that's a superhero who his a superpower is that he rapes bad guys.
Yes. Which is two wrongs don't make a right, Eugene. That's the thing. Like that's like the whole Dexter proposition. Just because he's killing alleged serial killers doesn't make him a good guy.
Oh, okay.
Torture porn is still wrong.
Well, you know what? If you look at it, this is the argument that we used in World War II, when we you know,
When we didn't torture Nazis, we used
we did not torture Nazis, but we firebombed Dresden to bits, you know, and we dropped bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki with
and
the
set
idea.
Tokyo on fire.
Yep, which, you know, was about preventing, you know, if I could kill 100,000, is that worth it so I don't have to kill 1 million? Or rather, if I kill 100,000 to keep 1 million from dying, is that a worthwhile exchange, you know?
I think it was more like the head of the Air Force was just into how many people can I kill before this war's over.
Oh, yeah, of course. You know, I mean, that's the argument that's being made. It's like, how come they didn't drop the nuclear bomb on Germany, you know?
Yeah. Because
I
allegedly
mean,
it wasn't
war is an interesting thing. I mean, the fact that the Nazis like actually said, you know what, there's so many art treasures in France. Let's not bomb the, you know, the cathedrals. Just, you know, that's
Yeah.
So
what you're saying is yay Nazis? Is that your
no, I'm just saying. It's interesting to me when we talk about
Look,
ISIS.
we don't want another PewDiePie here.
No. When we're talking about ISIS or you know, Daesh, that, you know, how deeply it seems to offend people that they're blowing up art treasures in Syria, and I find myself affected as well. I don't like it. You know, this is like
it's fucked.
It's I mean, okay, but they can burn people up in cages, cut their heads off. But
it's like William Faulkner said, how many little old ladies is owed on a Grecian urn worth?
Yep.
That was Faulkner's.
Yep.
Highly sexist and inappropriate.
Oh, he was a piece of shit. My favorite Faulkner story is when he was getting drunk, a notorious drunk, at his daughter's like 7th or 8th birthday, and she's just like, "Daddy, please stop drinking." And he kind of looks at her and goes, "You know what? Nobody remembers Shakespeare's daughter." Fuck, man.
Nice guy. Nice guy. Well, I'm just saying, you don't get to the Nobel Prize without stepping on some heads.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
that's what I find. I find it really. When I found that Rousseau was lousy to his kids, I used to like him as a philosopher before. Couldn't.
I see. I've always viewed him as a source of trouble.
Yeah.
Everything went wrong with Rousseau. Mark my words.
Yeah.
All right.
Jean-Jacques.
I believe that was our show.
Yeah, that's a show.
I believe that's our show. And so tomorrow night we'll have a special delayed edition of If I Did It, because Alexi and I both almost forgot it was Valentine's and remembered just in time.
Yeah, I call that lack of professionalism. See, I scheduled my Valentine's stuff so that I could do the show and still do.
Easy for you to say, Mr. Pacific Time Zone.
Yeah, finally, I got some fucking benefit to live in a position versus having to rush home and run down people to get in front of the computer. But
hey, nobody's making you run anyone.
I did have to miss Oxbow practice. All these other guys, I was like, "Yo, bro, newlyweds doing stuff for Fang." I'm not going to band practice tonight. Yeah, I don't care. You guys been married for 25 years. Don't give a shit. But me, I gotta go. I gotta show out. I can't slack. I can't be slacking on the macking.
I see. I bet your name was spoken of in loving terms at band practice that night.
Whatever, man. Yeah, Nikko, the guitar player, just got married. He should be watch the P's and Q's, my friend.
I see.
Come home and find a sausage where there should be no sausage.
Oh, a little sausage in the rolls where it shouldn't be. All right. So that's our show. Subscribe to MMANation.com on YouTube. Subscribe to MMA Nation on iTunes. Get the audio without the ugly. Eugene's attempting to show you how to do the thumbs up. And he finally remembered to make a noise to get the camera looking at it, but there's a thumb icon below the screen. Click that. It's just his antisocial personality disorder acting.
Hey, I'm not antisocial. Society's anti-me.
Uh-huh. Indeed.
That's another rich guy who I said would never make it and now is hugely famous. Mike Muir from Suicidal Tendencies.
Yes. And follow us on Twitter at KidNate, at Eugene S. Robinson. Read Eugene at Aussie.com. Read me at BloodyElbow.com. And Zane and Connor will have MMA Vivisection tomorrow afternoon.
Hey, man, I got a question for you. How's Dallas doing? You hear from him at all lately?
I haven't heard from Dallas in a while. I need to check in on him. Last I heard, he was doing well and was so busy with work, he couldn't even do the play-by-plays for Bloody Elbow anymore. So he seems to be all right. And I'll let him know that he's much missed and thought of fondly. All right. And I believe that's our show. So adios, MMA aficionados. Thanks, Eugene. We'll see you next time.
All right, man. See you tomorrow, actually, right?
Yes, tomorrow.
Right. Later.
All right, see ya.